Howdy folks, LP Guru here signing in for Let's Play Final Fantasy 1 Episode 27. Now I will say this first and foremost right away. More than likely, this will be the only time you see this screen and this entire project. Since I didn't receive the feedback that I had hoped for, any feedback for that matter, on that special request video, I'm having to take matters into my own hands and make an executive decision on how things are going to play out. So, starting here, I'm going to replay some of the content that was seen in the previous episode to get us back to fighting Leech one more time. And from that point forward, I'm going to continue to play. I intend for everything to be played in one sitting from this point to the very end of the game. In one sitting. Not sure how long that may take, how many hours, but what I do plan to do, in addition to everything that I just said, is I also don't plan to return to town for anything. Bring the healing staff up to the top so that everybody has access to it. But yes, as just stated, I'm attempting to play through everything through the rest of the game in one sitting, and when we reach new sections of content, trying to gather my thoughts and talk at the same time, but when we reach new areas of content, each new episode will begin there. That's why I say at the very start of this recording that may be the very last time that particular save load screen, that may be the last time that it is shown, because from this point forward, each new episode will pick up immediately where the previous episode ends in this dungeon. But that's also why when I do request feedback, I genuinely am requesting feedback. I'm genuinely asking everyone to please, provide some type of comment in the comment section to let me know. But I'm trying to be as fair and balanced and inclusive as I possibly can in everything that I do. So that was my hope. But it is what it is. As you can see here, only the healing staff can only be used once per round. So since our white wizard is going to be taking that action, it is not available for anyone else to use. And as always, we're making some fairly good progress with experience. We need in the low 20,000 range to level up again. And as always, just make sure to get shield 2 put in place just to be safe. And always make it a point to use the healing staff as frequently as you possibly can in a fight. It's essentially a free healing. It doesn't cost you anything. The healing staff is not a consumable item, so you can use it as many times as is needed, but of course only once per round. That's the only limitation that it has. Of course, it really would have been nice had Shield 2 been cast before a white wizard had taken that kind of damage. But it's all good. We're still in perfectly good shape. Thankfully, Ice Storm doesn't deal too much damage, so a single use of the healing staff can easily balance that damage out, if not actually restore some health. But now here, yes, the white dragons, as was witnessed in the previous episode, white dragons actually deal a decent amount of damage with their Ice Storm. So make sure to get a Null Ice cast, and then just keep on using the healing staff as needed. And now we are getting back to familiar territory. Thankfully, I actually remembered the proper way to go, and it also helps, as I had stated in the previous episode, that once you complete some of the requirements, it is a straight shot. Getting back to this point, but thankfully it hasn't taken nearly as long to get back to this point as I had initially thought. So that is always a good thing. But I will add right now that in this particular episode, I won't be pausing things after we take on Leech again, since everything after that point is going to be new content for this episode. But moving forward, when we take on the boss that follows Leech after that boss fight, it's where this episode will come to a close. Trying to get to the healing staff. Quit fighting me, controller. I'm gonna check and see just how much damage these do without putting shield 2 in place. Pretty good bit. Yeah, pretty good bit. I won't waste the magic at this point, since the fight will more than likely be over. That would have wasted it, only having one enemy left, but yes. Moving forward, it is definitely important to keep a shield 2 in place. Not worth taking over 100 hit points of damage. That could easily be reduced by half. If shield 2 were simply in place. So yeah, just something to bear in mind. Thankfully, it was the knight who took the brunt of all that damage, so he can easily survive such damage. All right, here we go again. Yeah, that dealt a lot of damage, but thankfully, Sabin, even not being enhanced with haste, can easily take Leech down in a single hit, which is very nice. I'm not complaining. I did not know that Leech had the capability of casting a flare, so that was definitely a surprise, and not a good kind of surprise. But yes, for obvious reasons, magic is the way to go to heal up from that kind of damage. Now again, once you get to around the 100 hit point difference, you can stop using magic to restore health and get back to letting the healing staff do the work for you. Alright, and finally, we're in brand new territory. These should be weak to ice based on their name. Not that way. Not that way. I do believe, yeah, you have to head north. And then take the long way. See if Ice 2 can do the trick without having to use Ice 3. Nope. Still need Ice 3 to do some decent damage. So yes, you head north, and then I know you don't. Never. Okay, here we go. The door. That is right. You do go north, but the door blends in with the wall, which is always nice. Alright, so since anything less than Ice 3 is pointless, there's no need to burn through those high level MP just yet. So I'm opting to use Shield 2 and let our Black Wizard use the Healing Staff instead. And yes, yet another rinse and repeat type fight. We're going to be running into a lot of these from here on out. But they all give very, very necessary experience. Because as is being witnessed, even though we do seem a bit OP when it comes to the boss fights, it's oddly and funnily enough, is that even a real word? I don't know, I may have just made up a word. I don't know, but oddly enough, it's most of the random encounters that are posing as more of a challenge and more of a threat than the boss fights. But don't be guaranteed of any one thing. Because as we progress, the boss fights will also get more challenging and very unpredictable. So it's always a good idea. There we go. But it's always a good idea to level up as much as you possibly can. And yes, what I am attempting to do is extremely risky. Not saving progress between each recording. Because yes, if I were to have a game over, then all of this would have to be played over again. Okay, there's another barrier and it's this way. The stairs are our destination, but there's some treasure on this floor that we need to grab first. So we will be doing just that, and then I'm backtracking to the stairs. And what's very nice and very handy about the healing staff is that it is a free healing. I know we had to use, I think it was Cure 2 several times earlier after the previous boss fight. But after that and since then, it's all been the healing staff again. So definitely worth picking up at whatever point in the game we got it. I can't remember if it was a dungeon or if it was in one of the Mystic Key rooms. I honestly don't remember. But point is, do not miss it. Make it a point to get it. I have to wait to see if that was a trigger encounter, but it wasn't. Another protect ring, which I think we have everyone outfitted in them, so we're good there. But it's definitely nice to know if you simply are powering through this game and you aren't taking the time to necessarily try to be a few levels ahead of the game, both literally and figuratively, it's nice to know that there is another protect ring here in case if you didn't have enough money in the past to completely outfit your party in them. It's nice to know that one can be found here. And the protect cloak is found in this treasure chest, and if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't remember. Okay, it does not have any kind of special attribute to it, so I couldn't remember if it did or not. But I don't think, let's see. Since it says it can be put on over armor, it would make sense. Okay, well, looks like we already have one, so I completely forgotten about that too. So, and there you go. It looks like it's just for the spellcasters, which is nice because they can use all of the help that they can get when it comes to their defense stat. Right now it looks like our master is the only character who is not at max hit points, but still, I would rather use the healing staff for free. Let's see, is it? Deadass boss, it is. Already, wow, I'm very surprised at this. Alright, so here's a Merilith for the second time. And at this point, they can very easily be very easily surmised. And there she goes. She did again. But since this is the second elemental fiend that has been encountered, it's very safe to say and guess at what the theme may be. And I won't speak on it just yet to be safe. You'll figure it out eventually. And I'm gonna go back and eat my own words. I'm just gonna push through, like I've already said, I'm gonna push through, but I'm not going to split these up into multiple episodes. You wanna know why? We are barely past the 30-minute mark in this recording. So I'm just going to push through and attempt to beat this game in this recording. Yep, you heard things correct. We are at a high enough level. We're still taking some pretty decent damage, but we're also at a high enough level to just go ahead and get this game knocked out. It's not that I'm ready to be done. Please don't take it that way. But I love this game. But it would be extremely silly to try to waste time and delay things when such a great progress is being made. So realistically, it is very possible to be done in probably, I would say, less than 2 hours. Could be mistaken. I could stand to be corrected, but we'll just see. We will just see. And if so, I will definitely be pleasantly surprised. But I will definitely keep everyone updated. Don't worry, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's such and such time in the recording. I'm going to make it a point to not be overly mindful of that. So my notes again. Yes, I have a note. Oh, not a note. I have notes for each floor in this area, and this is a rather sprawling floor. So that being the case, I don't know how long it would take to get through. There's no treasure. You start off in the top left corner, and the floor ends in the bottom right corner. So knowing that, we're gonna head straight for the next staircase, and unless I'm mistaken, when we get to that next staircase, the next boss should be waiting there. Should, and being the key word. Good grief, these things are punching right through his shield too, like I don't even have it cast. And in these types of fights, there's really no good way to use the healing staff in the very first turn, because you need all of your fighters, all of your characters who are capable of inflicting decent damage. You need them attacking in the first round. You need your white wizard to put shield 2 in place, and your black wizard to get a good casting of bolt 3. Then, if any enemy is still standing in the next round, such as this one as is being witnessed now, this is where you use the healing staff. That do yourself a favor and not really. Do yourself a favor and have a fight play out in your favor. Not exactly sure what I was trying to say at the very beginning there, but hopefully I just made proper sense of everything. But if you keep the majority of the enemies around and you try to heal then all you're doing is prolonging the fight, making things much more difficult, because if you're simply using the healing staff and you're not using actual magic from your white wizard, the healing staff is never going to be able to replenish enough health if there's too many enemies in the fight. So you have got to thin out the enemy population first. Yes, this is one of those fights where sometimes a second casting of Bolt 3 is necessary, but now that events have played out like they have, that shouldn't be the case. And also, there's no point in casting that shield 2 at this point. It would just be a waste of magic. Making decent progress on leveling up. We're about to level up, matter of fact, another one, maybe 2 fights, and we will be there. But yes, the way this floor is designed, it is deliberately laid out in such a way to waste as much of your time, create extra steps, resulting in more fights playing out. Let's So just be aware of that. I'm gonna go ahead and push through. Just gotta dig deep. As I said, I think in the previous episode, you just gotta dig deep and push through. Because there's no getting around any of these fights. And as was just witnessed, Vivi used his Protect Cloak to evade damage. So that's another added bonus of that equipment. Not only does it increase the overall defense stat of the character, but it also, this is the door that will take us out of the way, that's not where we need to go, but not only does it boost the character's defense stat, it also provides the possibility of that character completely evading damage altogether. You know, sometimes I just don't have anything good to say, and those last two fights encountered is definitely the case. And I was not expecting that to be the tile that, you know, the trigger point was on, but it is what it is, so here's Kraken once again. Hoping I can, okay, good. He's the start of the boss fights that have some particularly nasty attacks. So I was definitely hoping that Sabin could get his attack in first. And that was the case. We require 22,000 more experience to level up. You know, one thing that has always bothered me. See, this was the point. That was the tile I was expecting that boss fight to be on, not way back where it was, but whatever. But no, what really, I don't want to say that it bothers me, but it does annoy me that these bosses are only giving 500 experience a pop. I mean, I understand that we're very late in the game. The game is almost over. We are literally in the final dungeon. But when each level up requires, you know, at least 20,000 experience points. You know, sometimes closer to 30,000 experience points. You know, one would think, okay, you know, at the very, very least, one would think these boss fights would give 1,000 experience. But, you know, that may just be me. That may just be my take on things. And yes, I will speak on this, but we're on the, I think, the very last floor. Now, there is a treasure on this floor. I think I've always butchered the pronunciation of its name. It's either the Masamune, the Masamune. Never really been entirely sure on its pronunciation. It's a great weapon, but it's not greater than the Excalibur. And since we don't have a character whose job is capable of equipping, but let me say, we don't have a second character whose job is capable of equipping swords, I'm going to bypass it. There's no point in collecting it. But for anyone who's ever played this game before, you know what I'm talking about, especially if you have had a setup of multiple jobs that can equip swords, then definitely get it. Don't pass it up, because one of your secondary characters, secondary meaning someone who's not a knight, can use that weapon. Like I just said, since we have no practical use for it, I'm going to pass it up. But just bear that in mind for any of your playthroughs. That is, I'm not 100% sure if it's like the second best weapon in the entire game, but it is definitely up there. And that, here is Tiamat again. Let's see how we fare. Not exactly certain. They've been over the, okay. Nowhere near as bad as I was thinking. I was thinking that it was going to be at the very least of 200 hit points each. But it was not. It was not, and for that I am glad. And there we go. Tiamat has had its wings clipped yet again. Yes, that is the trigger point. No, it was not the last floor. This is the last floor. I was mistaken. What's new? There's no treasure on this floor, and the center room is our destination. And since we are as close as we now are to the ending, do not, well, I'm saying this for myself, I'm not going to hesitate on using magic. But I'm still saving my higher level spells for future events. But yes, for anyone who was not able to make that guess that I had spoken of earlier, that's the theme. All of the elemental fiends that were fought earlier in the game are back for revenge. Speaking of revenge, if I could talk, it looks like Garland is too. I don't think so. Let's do this. Not exactly sure why flee was chosen when I chose to attack, but okay. I think you underestimate the power of my master, Chaos. letting the good times roll, as well as the in-game credits. So I can honestly say that that was the quickest I have ever completed the final dungeon of Final Fantasy 1. So everyone watching has also just witnessed me very unintentionally set a new record. Believe it or not, when Chaos was defeated, or I should more poetically phrase it, when order was restored to Chaos, we were right under the hour mark. We were in either the 58 and some odd seconds or 59 and some odd seconds mark. So, yeah. From start to finish of this episode to Chaos's defeat was less than an hour. And I am honestly trying to wrap my mind around that, because that is just insane to me. And just in case really epic music is playing, and again I can't hear during the act of recording, but just in case that is what's happening, I will zip the lip and let you all enjoy. But I will be back as soon as it's all over. And that was the epic ending to one of the most epic RPGs ever made. A special shout out to all of my subscribers who have watched this entire project from the very beginning, as well as any viewers who have yet to subscribe. Right now, I just want to thank everyone, first and foremost. That's the most important takeaway. But if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Please. Because all that I do for all of you. I do this for everyone that watches. It's been real, and it's been fun. But believe it or not, it's over. As the screen says, the end. And that's where we are. One last time, thank you all so much for tuning in for this entire project. I appreciate it more than you will ever know. But stay tuned, everybody, because there's some exciting news, some exciting announcements that I plan to make towards the end of this week. So be on the lookout on my channel, where there's new content to come. Not related to this. This is over. But nevertheless, there's still some very exciting content and news to come. This is LP Guru, and I'm signing out for this project. See y'all in whatever the next project may be. Again, that news is coming later this week. Game on, my friends.